Hello students, today we are going to start a new chapter, chapter 8, Cell, Structure and Functions. In this chapter we are going to talk about the structure as well as its functions. When we talk about the structure of the cells, we need to know what is or what made us to know about the existence of the cell, and it was observed by a special instrument known as microscope. You can see here these are the various parts of the microscope through which we observe our cells, and these are the light microscopes. There are the different kinds of microscopes you can see over here. These are the light microscopes which functions in the presence of light. Can you see here? This is the place from where we observe it, and this is the stage where we keep our slides to be observed, and this is the lens. Okay, this is the lens through which the image will transfer to our eyes, and from here the sun rays are where the sun rays fall here and it will be reflected here, and then it will move and we will get the image at this place. So when we talk about the cell, let's have a quick introduction of the cell. What is actually a cell? Cell is the structural and functional unit of all life forms. That means whatever living things is present in the earth, they are made up of a cell. This is the structural, which makes up the structure, as well as functional. If the structure is made, its functioning is due to the presence of the cell. All living organisms, plants or animals, everything is made up of cells, and they are the microscopic units. So microscopic units means they are very small in size, which cannot be seen through our naked eyes, and these are called as the cells. The cells occupies the same central position in the biology as the atom in the physical sciences. As you all know, the materials are made up of atoms. Okay, all the materials are made up of atoms, or matters are made up of atom. In the same way, in biology, all living organisms are made up of cells. Organisms may be classified into unicellular and multicellular organisms. Before moving into the unicellular and multicellular organisms, we need to know who discovered the cells, who was responsible for the discovery of the cells. So in 1965, scientist Robert Hooke used a microscope to examine thin slices of cork. And what exactly is a cork? Cork is made up of tiny hollow compartments. What do you observe? The cork is made up of tiny hollow compartments. The compartments reminded him of small rooms, so he gave the name as rooms, the name cells. Okay, and what is a cork? Cork is a part of a plant that is present in the bark part of the plant. Okay, cork is a part of the bark part of a tree. Okay, the plants Hooke observed were actually dead. Okay, that means he observed dead cells, and he was actually observing the cell walls and empty spaces. So in the first discovery, he just observed a dead cell, and he observed the cell walls and the empty spaces. So this one you can understand what he saw under the microscope. What he did, he took a cork slice, okay, and he observed it, and he made a microscope by himself, okay, and he observed this one. This was the structure of the cell, and what he thought, this structure was actually resembling a honeycomb. Have you seen a honeycomb? Honeycomb look like this, where the honeybees keep their honey or store their honey inside. Okay, can you see this part? This small part is called as the cells. So when he observed the honeycomb, it was exactly like he observed that the same structure or the similar structure was found into the cell. Okay, and can you see this place? And inside each cell it was empty. So he resembled each one chambers as the name cell, which means room. Then after Robert Hooke, there were other scientists also who went on the further study about the cell. So first was discovered by Robert Hooke 1665, cells in the cork. The next one was Anton van Leeuwenhoek in 1674. He saw tiny living things in pond water. When he observed in the samples of the pond water, he saw few cells that was a living cell. Then Matthias Schleiden in 1834, he observed the plant cells. Then Theodor Schwann, he observed the animal cells. Then Rudolf Virchow, he observed that the new cells were coming from the existing cells. What does it mean? That means already few cells were there, and from that cell, new cells were getting developed. Okay, so what does it mean? Rudolf stated the statement like the new cells comes from the existing cells. So what is a cell? Cell is the basic unit of living organisms. That means this is the first and foremost thing that is present in a living organisms. So I told you about the organisms may be either unicellular organisms and multicellular organisms. What is unicellular and multicellular? Unicellular means it is made up of only one cell. Can you see here? Only one cell. Uni means one and cellular means cell. So if any kind of organisms is made up of only one cell, okay, they are called as unicellular. And what is the example? Bacteria and amoebas. You must have studied in your previous year, you have studied that bacteria as well as amoeba, they are the unicellular organisms, which means they are made up of only one cell. But in multicellular, if organism is made up of more than one cells, they are called as the multicellular. So all the plants and animals, they are considered to be the multicellular organisms. Can you see in the diagram? Cat, rat, elephant, dog, even the flowers, the plants, everything, all these are categorized under multicellular. But when you talk about this bacteria, this is the structure of bacteria and this is the structure of amoeba, they are called as the unicellular organisms. This is the anatomy of human cells. That means in humans, various kinds of cells are found. Number one is red blood cells. Okay. Next one is columnar epithelial cells. Next one is ovum cells, smooth muscle cells, bone cells, nerve cells, and sperm cells. These are the types of cells that is present in our body. Okay. How is cell organized? Okay, what is the organization of a cell? So first of all, we talk about the cell. Okay, this is the smallest unit that can carry out life activities. Okay, this is like atom is the smallest unit. Okay, in the same way in biology, cell is the smallest unit. Okay, when the group of cells are joined together to perform a function, it is called as tissues. When the group of tissues join together to perform a function, that is called as organ. When the group of organs work together to perform a specific job, it is called as the organ system. And all the organ system, okay, makes up an organism. Okay, so organism can be made of one cell or many organ systems. So can you understand what I talked here is, if only one single cell is there, it is called as the cell. If this cell combines with 2 or 3 cells, this will be called as tissue. Okay, and all these tissues join together. Okay, for example, this is one tissue, then this is another tissue. Tissue means the group of cells. Okay, group of cells is called as tissue. For example, this is one tissue and this is one tissue. If two tissues join together, they forms the organ. Okay, wait, organ. Okay, when all the organs, for example, this is the organs. Okay, when all these organs join together, they forms this organ system, and all the organ system makes up a organism. So here you can see this is the cells. Okay, individual cells. When all these kinds of cells, when all these kinds of cells club together, okay, when all the cells are clubbed together or joined together, it is called as the tissues. When all the tissues, different tissues join together, they form an organ. When different organs are joined together, they form an organ system. And by the accumulation or the accumulation or by like joining all the organ system, we will get a organisms or a body. Okay, can you understand this? Levels of organisms, again, first one is the cells, then tissues, then organs and organ system. So here also cells, tissues, organs and organ system. Repeat after me. First is the cell, tissues, organs, organ system. You need to remember this series, okay? First is the cell, smallest unit is the cell. All cells join together to form tissues. All tissues join together to form organs. All organs join together to form organ system. Cells, they are variety in number, shape and size as well. Okay, so that means cell, they are different in number as well as they have different shape and different sizes. So can you see all these organs, different organs, all these organs? Okay, in previous year you have studied about the various organs that is present in our body, stomach. Okay, then we have studied about the liver, then small intestine, large intestine, pancreas, okay, then kidney. All these things are all these organs are contains the cells, that is variety in number, and they also are present in different shapes and in different sizes. Once again, let us move on to the types of cells, unicellular and multicellular. That is a quick revision, okay? Organisms that are made up of only one cell, they are called unicellular. Organisms that are made up of more than one cell, they are called as multicellular. You can see this diagram. This flow chart would help you to understand and remember the things. Repeat after me, students. Organisms are divided into unicellular and multicellular. What are unicellular? That are made up of only one cell or single cell. The organisms which is made up of many cells. And what are the examples? Amoeba, bacteria and paramecium. Last year you have observed under the microscope the structure of paramecium, right? This is that paramecium, okay? And in many cells you will find out in the plants as well as in the animals. Okay, unicellular organisms have only one cell. These organisms do all the things needed for their survival within that one cell. That means the way multicellular organisms work, for example, they grow, they reproduce, they excrete, all these things are done by even the single cellular organisms. And an amoeba is an unicellular organisms and it takes in or ingest and other unicellular organisms for food to get energy. Okay, unicellular organisms also respond to their environment, get rid of waste, that means excretion, grow, and they reproduce. Reproduce means to multiply in number. Okay, and unicellular organisms include both prokaryotics and some eukaryotics. We will be studying this prokaryotic and eukaryotic in detail later. For now, you just remember unicellular organisms include both prokaryotics and eukaryotic. So here we have studied about unicellular. Let's move on to multicellular, made up of more than one cells. Specialized cells perform different life functions, that is nerve cells. For example, what we say, multicellular organisms have some kind of specialized cells in which they are made to perform special functions. Okay, they are given some special functions. For example, nerve cells. An example, nerve cells are present in humans. When we talk about the multicellular organisms, for example in human, you can see all these things are the cells that is present in human. For example, sperm cells. Okay, what is a sperm cells? Long tail for swimming, for getting into the female cell. This sperm cells needs to get into the head of female cell. Egg cell, okay, contains lot of cytoplasm. Nerve cell, long connection at each end, can carry electrical signals. Okay, nerve cells, they carry the electrical signals. Then red blood cells, large surface area, contains hemoglobin which joins with oxygen. Last year, as you all have heard about it, like Your red blood cells contains the hemoglobin, and what is the function of a hemoglobin? It binds with oxygen, and it is and the oxygen is carried to each cells. Then root hair cells, large surface area. Leaf palisade cells, large surface area, lots of chloroplast. This is the condition for the plants. Then xylem cells, hollow, so it conducts water storage, water cells. These are the cells which contains the, or they work as the water storage cells. So these are the parts of the cells and the functions. Okay, we will be studying one by one. This year you need to know about the cell wall, cell membranes, nucleus. Okay, and some of the functions, you do not have to go very deeply, but you should know what all the other parts are present in a cell. For example, cell wall. Okay, animal cells don't have one, that means cell wall is present only in the plants, not in the animals, and it gives strength, structure and rigidity to the plant. Cell membrane, outside covering, that means cell wall is covered by the another cell membrane, determines what goes in and what goes out. Cell also, for example, this is a cell. Okay, inside various components are present. So cell membrane, what is the function of cell membrane? Only the essential things will get in, and the waste product will go out of the cell. So this is the function of cell membrane. Next one is vacuole, storage unit in the cells that holds water, large in plants and small in animals. Vacuoles, they are large in plants and small in animals. They holds the water. Next one is nucleus. It is very important part of the cell, which is called as this control center of the cells. Houses of DNA. You have heard about the term DNA. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. Okay, this DNA is very important in our body, which determines or it have various functions in our body, and it also controls the cell growth and makes ribosomes. In the same way, it is lysosome. All these things you do not have to study in detail, but you need to know the names. Lysosomes, mitochondria, cytoplasm, rough endoplasmic reticulum, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. Again, they have written ribosomes, then Golgi bodies and chloroplast. Okay, so mitochondria is called as the powerhouse of the cell. Lysosome, what it does, it contains the digestive enzymes to break things down in the cell. Okay, then it is semi-transparent fluid that fills the cells. Okay, and all the organelles are suspended in the cytoplasm. That means all the parts, other parts that is present in the cell is present in the cytoplasm, or you can say they are suspended in the cytoplasm. Suspended in the sense, for example, this is a cell and this whole cell is filled by a body. Okay, this whole cell is filled by a body, and filled by a semi-transparent fluid, you can say. And in this fluid only your other parts such as nucleus or your vacuoles or maybe mitochondria or maybe smooth endoplasmic reticulum or rough endoplasmic reticulum. So that means it gives the surface to hold up the various kinds of organelles. Organelles means the other parts of the cells that is present inside a cells. Okay, so that's it all for today. We have studied about the introduction of the cells, then who discovered it, and what are the types of the cells, and we studied about the various types of cells and what are their functions. So we will be meeting you up in our next video. Stay tuned. Bye bye everyone.